As you have noticed, we've taken many cues from Visual Studio Code, and in order to work on a very complicated test project, imagine you have a lot of scenarios or maybe just a lot of modules and tests. We realized the navigation was difficult, so we created the tree navigation. And then we realized we weren't really utilizing the tabs properly. So now we've taken the cue from Visual Studio Code and created dynamic versus static tabs. If you are familiar with Visual Studio Code, you might know this functionality if you're using it, but let me demonstrate it very quickly. Let's say I close a tab and I have a tab open. As you can see, this is now in italics, so that allows me to browse around in my test. And as you can see, the tab is being changed. It's changing the current tab. If I want this tab to stay, I'll simply double click on it and it now becomes pinned. And now when I browse over the different tests, it opens a new tab. That also means, of course, that if I go back to my static tab that's now been pinned, if I double click it and now I browse, it will change that tab again. Another change we did, well, let me also note that just like Visual Studio Code, you can double click on the tab to switch between the pin tab, which makes it stay, and the italic tab that makes it change. And then also, if you go to settings, for instance, that will always open a new tab. So even if you have a tab, it should naturally change that one. Another change we did is the fact that before, when you were working on something, we would kind of change where you were when you press play, and we would kind of change the run mode. And now when you press play, we just open up a new play tab, which allows you, when you close it, to go straight back to where you were. So we think this is a big improvement for usability, but we're also trying to really get this right. So if you have some feedback on how we can improve this even more, we would love to hear it.